Good morning. My name is Carolyn Fries, Director of Workforce Development and Rapid Response Coordinator with CareerSource Escarosa and the Greater Pensacola Chamber of Commerce. Today is Friday, May 30th, 2025, and I'd like to welcome you to Rapid Response Office Hours. Rapid Response is a nationwide program that helps people that have been laid off or lost their jobs through no fault of their own get back to work as quickly as possible. So, we've got a variety of resources we're going to talk to you about today. We'll start with our workshop schedule that we have at CareerSource Escarosa, a little bit of information about Employ Florida, which is the state job board, and also some other job search resources that may be helpful for you. So, hopefully, if you couldn't make it today, you can join us another Friday at 10 a.m. via this Google link and be able to ask questions and have more of an interactive discussion. So, let's go ahead and get started. First, we'll go ahead and talk a little bit about our workshop schedule. So, CareerSource Escarosa has three locations in our two-county region serving Escambia and Santa Rosa counties in Florida. We have one office up in Century in the north part of Escambia County. We also have our main office at Pensacola and then another office in Milton. And only the Pensacola and Milton offices offer these in-person courses. So if you need help with your resume, updating it, getting it ready for the new job, or if you've been looking for a job and you need help with the application process, we have workshops for that. If you've been lucky enough to get an interview, we can help you get ready and interview like a star. Also, Jennifer or Jay has wonderful reemployment workshops where she walks you through the entire process of applying for reemployment or unemployment, as most people are used to, benefits on Florida Commerce. If you need to bone up on your computer skills, we can help you with that as well. Also, if you need to work on your soft skills or digital skills, we have Florida Ready to Work, which also offers a badge that you can share on your online platforms, social media like LinkedIn and Facebook, or you can print it out and you can share it with employers as you're going out to look for jobs. In addition, we've got individualized assistance. If you want some one on one time with one of our counselors, we can go ahead and schedule that as well. So, in order to attend any of our workshops, you do need to be registered on Employ Florida and you need to call in advance to register. And you can do that by phoning Melinda at 850 607 8853. And we'll go ahead and put some of this information and some useful links in the comment section once we get this posted. So let's talk a little bit about Employ Florida. As I mentioned earlier, it is our state's job board where you can look for and apply for jobs here in the state of Florida. And in addition, as I mentioned, the Employ Florida is account is required if you're going to attend any of our workshops or apply for reemployment benefits. So go ahead and go to employflorida.com, create an account for yourself, and then go ahead and upload your resume, enter any skills that you have, what types of jobs you're looking for, whether you're actively looking for work or not, and we'll go ahead and help you through that process. One thing I want to let you know about Employ Florida is the difference between an internal and an external job on Employ Florida. If you look at different jobs, as in the three that are posted on the left, you may notice the words preferred employer listed there. If you see a job that says preferred employer, that means that the employer is working directly with CareerSource Escarosa. We have contact with the human resources manager that is doing the hiring. So we have more ability to help people with those specific jobs. We can refer people, we can share your resume directly with them once you've applied, provided you're qualified, of course, um, which is a little bit different from the external jobs. So, external jobs are indicated by anything other than preferred employer. So, if it says corporate, if it says National Labor Exchange, if it says recruiter, that means that the job has been spidered in, or Employ Florida has web crawlers that go out and look for other jobs that are not already posted on Employ Florida, and it imports that information in. So many of these are still valid jobs and you can apply for them online without any problem. Just know that they're not directly working with us. So we have less access to those jobs. So again, if you want to apply for a job, make it a preferred employer job if you want CareerSource Escarosa to be able to give you a little extra help with that. In addition, I will say that CareerSource Escarosa monitors our preferred employer jobs to make sure that they are still actively open and hiring for that job. Whereas some of the external jobs, they may be older jobs that have already, the position has been filled, but that hasn't been taken down yet. So just be aware of that. Anytime you can get your information in front of the HR person, it's always an advantage for you, as opposed to being just one of 500 applicants for a job and you might be at the bottom of the list and they just never get to you. Some other job search resources I wanted to talk about: personal networking, employer career pages, and career fairs. I'll talk a little bit more about those in a moment. But Indeed and LinkedIn are very common platforms that a lot of people use to apply for jobs. You might have heard of sometimes of ghost jobs. Both of those platforms can fall prey to that, where an employer may just be putting a job out there to see, what kind of interest there is, or to capture resumes for future. So just be aware, again, similar to those external jobs on Employ Florida, Indeed and LinkedIn is kind of a crapshoot to some degree, because you just never know if you're really getting your information in front of the right person that's making the hiring. If you're interested in a job with the federal government, which this might not be the best time for that with everything going on, but USA Jobs is where the federal government posts all of their jobs. So again, if you want a federal government jobs, USA Jobs is the place to go. Also, Facebook is a good resource. A lot of these kind of more informal job search, but a lot of positions in the service industry, like servers and bartenders, they will have a network group within Facebook of a variety of people in that occupation that share information back and forth on who's hiring. So if you're looking for that type of a job, you may want to either ask a server or a bartender that you know what Facebook group to belong to. And that's a good way to find kind of underutilized resource, I guess, there. And also, just don't underestimate the power of a staffing agency. If you are looking for a job, if you need to get to work quickly, working with a staffing agency may be the way to do it, because they have a variety of jobs. They're hiring for a lot of different employers that they work for. And a lot of times you can get to work more quickly through a staffing agency. Keep in mind, it may be a temporary job, a temp to hire job, or a contract job for a limited period of time. But a lot of times they work with a staffing agency to bring somebody on to test them out, and then will eventually offer them a longer position. But again, if you're looking to get to work quickly, sometimes a staffing agency is the best way to go. And we'll have some more information about staffing agencies in a few slides. So let's talk about those personal networks. Everyone has friends and family that is our immediate personal network that we all have. But sometimes you want to extend beyond that. So ways to get out into the community and meet new people and get to know new people. We're going to talk about some of those things. One of the things is chambers of commerce. But primarily, chambers of commerce do require membership, but a lot of their events don't require registration and aren't charged, so you don't necessarily have to be a member to attend. At least one or two times. If you start showing up all the time, somebody may ask questions. But a lot of times, if you show up to an event like this, that is not registration required, that is not a fee required, then you can just talk to people as long as you're professional and you're friendly. Most times, people aren't going to chase you away. Another opportunity is the Pensacola Young Professionals. If you're under 40 and looking to network with other young people in the area, Pensacola Young Professionals is a great way to do that. And again, they do require membership for that organization, but you can attend one or two events prior to joining. Great opportunity to meet folks. Also, volunteering. Volunteering is a fabulous way to be able to get not only to know people, but also to get people to understand, what your knowledge and abilities are and what your work ethic is and what kind of person you are. So if you volunteer for a position, then a lot of times somebody says, "Oh, I have this great volunteer. They'd be perfect for this job." So you just never know. In addition, civic clubs, similar to chambers of commerce, you generally have to be a member and there's payment involved with that. But if you know someone that's in Rotary or Kiwanis, a lot of times you can attend a lunch or dinner event with them with no charge, with the idea that hopefully you may join at one point in the future. So if you know somebody that's in one of these civics clubs, go ahead and talk to them. Ask them if you can come to a meeting and get to know some of the members. In addition, meetup.com, Facebook, and Eventbrite all have events locally here in the community. I would recommend you focus on the in person events. Some of the online events, you're not going to get that one on one interaction with people that you do in person. So take a look at meetup.com, Facebook, and Eventbrite events here in our local area. Most times these are free events and you can get in and meet a lot of interesting people. Also, the city of Pensacola, the community centers, the city oftentimes has meetings relative to community happenings and events, a lot of times that are also free that you can attend. Just get out there and talk to people. Similarly, Escambia and Santa Rosa County also have events posted on their website that you can go ahead and attend for free. Another great resource, several times a year, Civicon will have different events. So take a look at Civicon and see if there's anything there that's of interest to you. Really, the idea is just to get out, to meet new people, to talk to them, let people know who you are, what you're about, and that you're looking for work. Because a lot of times, word of mouth is the best way to get a job, especially like I mentioned earlier, if there's 400 or 500 people that have applied for a job. If you know somebody that knows the hiring manager, being able to get your resume in front of that hiring manager makes a huge difference for you. I mentioned employer career sites. So, what I have done to accommodate for jobs that are not posted on Employ Florida, a lot of our employers do use Employ Florida, but not all of them do all of the time. So, I've kind of curated a list of local employers based by industry sector and with links directly to their career pages. So, if you're interested in this list, my contact information will be at the end. I will happily send you a link to the list and then you can click and look to your heart's content. So these are some, but not all of our employers in the area, but it's certainly a good start when you're looking for a new job. Also, CareerSource has career fairs throughout the year, sometimes by ourselves, sometimes partnering with other organizations. And we have three career fairs that are coming up. These are always free to the public to attend for job seekers. So, again, I will link some information into where you can register for these in the comment section once we get this posted. But in partnership with Pensacola Summer, oh gosh, Pensacola State College. There we go. We're having a summer career fair with them at the Milton campus on June 18th. Next, Pensacola State College also, we're doing a construction focused trades career fair on July 31st. And then with the Santa Rosa County Economic Development Organization, we're doing another Honoring Our Heroes career fair on August 14th. Now, while that's honoring our heroes, it is not limited to veterans and military attending. They just get special early entrance. So if you're a veteran or a military member or a spouse, you can come in at 9 o'clock. Otherwise, the general public, the doors open at 10. And again, I will provide a link to register for these in the comments. So we're going to kind of take it short and sweet today. Again, I'm Carolyn Fries, Director of Workforce Development with the CareerSource Escarosa and the Greater Pensacola Chamber of Commerce. And I hope to see you next Friday where we can have a more interactive discussion. I can answer some of your questions and share more information and help you get back to job or get back to work quickly.